And last episode where we left off, we created the Kingdom of Portugal. It came quite quickly once we had gained our independence. And with a kingdom comes some more decisions that we need to make. And of course, with those, more consequences. We had a look at some of our options that we had potential. And we discussed things with our council. In a council, we're in agreement, and so was our outer council. And they all were in agreement that the Holy War for the remaining lands of the Kingdom of Portugal is what we need to go for. And that is what we're going to aim for going for this episode. We need to just be ready for it, though. We want to consolidate, get a bit of gold so we can invest in armies here. We do have the ability to recruit one more men-at-arms, so we need at least 79 if we wanted to go for light horsemen, which we won't, but we need a good chunk, probably some bowmen there, just because we do have some bowmen, but probably some more pikemen likely. But we do need another men-at-arms, and I'd probably like to increase a little bit of what we have here, as well as just invest in a little bit more. We have been asked, and perhaps we may look at forming a holy order as well to aid us, but at the moment we are short by about 488 coin. But to do all that, we do need to invest. We need to bring in some gold. We're not going to go on a pilgrimage. My son will be happy with that. We are not going to go on a hunt unless invited. My son will not be happy with that. But nevertheless, we must do what we must do. However, my outer councillors, Molly, again, very astute, picked up on the fact that, and she said to me, my liege, your capital of Santiago is still Galician. So it's not going to benefit with investment, and it's not going to benefit from development while it is against the adopted culture of Portuguese. And councillors like this are very wise and very, very much needed. So thank you for that. Excellent little pickup there, Molly. So we are going to just do a little bit of shuffling here. So I am going to get my steward here. I'm going to get him to promote the culture in Santiago of the Portuguese. Okay, so this is going to take about 6 years, but in that time we are going to obviously be developing it as well. So it's not too bad. We're not going to be investing in development directly because we are going to look at converting there. And we are still going to keep Mayor Sebastian, our Marshal, on just training up our leaders once he has finished the control in Aveiro. And it's only about 18 months ago to that. My spy master is doing her job in our court. And also we got our Chancellor Roy, it's still on domestic affairs, and we have our Bishop doing conversion in Colombia for another 4 years yet. I do want to know and have a look at religion as well, though. It's something we kind of have overlooked, and Morazabic did take a foothold, and I did mention it, I believe, last episode in Santiago and Corumba. Because of our liege at the time, conversion. However, the base of a good chunk of our land is still Catholicism. So we do want to bring everybody back under the true banner there, and then push south. So there's a lot of conversions that are going to need to be done. I know, Morazabic is, it's astray from us. So I think it shouldn't be too bad in terms of hostility or lack of hostility towards us. But yes, we do want to push forward down through here now into the remaining lands that are Portugal. To form, we have already formed Portugal, but it is for us in our intent to push south and to bring those lands under our control. And we can do that. We have this option, and we will try and push it. We can do the Holy War for the Kingdom, and we do have enough piety as well. So we should have no problems declaring that. But at this time, we just need to be a little bit stronger in ourselves. Numbers combined with allies do certainly help us, but if we just look at our armies alone, we've only got 3,200, and we would be just going against this Sultan here, who has 3,600. So our numbers are about 400 shy of just his alone, never mentioning all these allies. Now, a lot of these allies, of course, he's got the big ally here, in the Sultan of Al-Sarak, and then just internal little ones as well. But to combine, we do have our advantage with Asturias being right next door to us, and of course we have a good alliance here with Portiers. We've got Capua here, thank you to our relationship with Ilo. Where is Capua? I think that's gone. There it is, sorry. So I'll jump on a ship hopefully, and of course we do still have up here Murcia. Now, and I do remember in the last episode I kind of thought Murcia was a lot smaller than it was, because I was zoomed quite far in, but no, Murcia is still pretty good there. So we've got our steward now going into the cultural spirit. We'll try and do things that we got through to that. Let's just have a look. I don't think yet. So in Tui we are building hillside fields and simple earthworks in Santiago as well. Marshall is impressing vassals, which is always very good. We've got a grand tour. I do want to do a grand tour, but at this stage we do not have the money, and I do want to save up. So we have the stewardship perk. We are going to go down, I think, have a curious fair way. Let me know your input though. I am thinking of maybe in my later years pushing into a bit of learning here. Just because I think it will suit our character's zealousness, and we're probably going to go down to the theologian tree. Just his destiny is in his hands now. He feels, for a while he battled with the destiny of who should have been his father's, the Count of Santiago, the Duke of Galicia, but he is now in an affirmation that no, it was his destiny. The destiny from the law was put in his hands to be not only the Duke of Galicia, but now the King of Portugal and further forward. So we will go down that lane eventually. That's my thinking. Let me know down below. However, what we are going to do, we are going to... at the moment we do want to... Are we going to take the tax contribution plus 10% just because we are wanting to just help ourselves at the moment build up? So it just goes up a little bit. Anyway, so we're just going to push as little bit of coin as we can. I'm going to have a look at some of our artifacts here. You may not agree, but feel free to comment down below. Today I received word that large number of rooks, those birds that closely resemble crows, have grown in large numbers in Tui, enough that it may warrant a response from me as the authority in this land. For some, such a phenomenon is a good omen, because the birds are said to prefer living near those of kind and generous dispositions. Others, however, argue that the bird is an agricultural pest and should be taken care of immediately. And we could cull them. I think we will let them stay. I'll leave that highlighted there for you if you want to have a look at the biological context. So that's one of the, I think it's the Diet Vet mod. Adds a bit of historical and other context to some of these events. So if you want to have a read of that. We are going to let the birds stay. We do lose a little bit of control a month, but I think we can get into our marshal into that anyway for 10 years. But we'll get a little bit of extra development, which can only help us here. So we are going to, they bring good luck. Why refuse it? Now, it's in the county of Tui, which is one of those I thought had been felt neglected in certain terms. That's why we kind of went towards adding a building in there, which we are constructing now. Our mercenary contract is expiring 6 months. I will let that expire because I do believe... Look, this is probably going to be a short episode with not much to do. We are wanting to build up things this episode, and we'll be looking at episode probably 16 here, where we look at pushing our holy war claims on the remaining kingdom. So we will let that contract expire. It does expire in 6 months, 5 months, so we will let that bypass. Oh. While travelling through the woods, my retinue was accosted by bandits. They were not after my gold, but attacked outright. Sooner than I could order my men to kill them, they were where they stood. The fighting was fiercer than expected, and what was worse, the thugs were clearly targeting me. Good thing none of them were left standing in the end, for their single-minded attack almost got the better of me. This was undoubtedly the work of that harsh boar, Miriam. My rival Miriam. Yes, I barely remember you, you old drunkard witch. Yes. We will keep an eye on you. I could challenge her to a fight. I might challenge her to a fight. I will make her regret this. I'm going to challenge her to a fight. You want to take my life, Bob? Come at me yourself. For a few brief moments, Miriam and I paced in lazy half circles, each watching for an opening. I heft my sword, ready to defend myself, while she clutches her mace firmly in hand. This fight may only be till first blood that doesn't ease my nerves. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. Spotting an opportunity, Miriam lunges forwards and headbutts me hard in the face. I reel backwards, wrong-footed. Never wrathful, always venereous scum. Let's go. I have a sword, I have an enemy, and I'm determined to introduce for two by any means. Wild swings, backhanded smacks, flailing strikes from my weapon's pommel, anything to batter my foe. Miriam tries hesitantly to launch a quick slash at me, but the blow is easily swatted away. My form is deteriorating fast with numerous exploitative gaps, and Miriam's stance is a disaster. My opponent is still holding off my blows well, but she seems close to faltering. Maybe we could go a bit dirty. Put some dirt in her eyes. We are honest. I don't think we'll just go down to the depths of that though. Let's see how you like a sculling. Good old Scottish kiss. Spotting a perfect gap in my opponent's guard, I step forwards and bring my face down on her hard. Some might call it a risky or foolish move, but a skull to the face robs most detractors of their best arguments, even if it does cane for me too. No matter how bad I feel, Miriam clearly feels worse, writhing on the ground, gasping and clutching at her face. I have to steady myself a bit, but I'm still able to ready my sword to run her through in time to force a yield. I am victorious. I hope you remember that, Miriam. Never try at me again. She gained critical stress as well. We are travelling to another village when we decided to take a quick break along the side of the road. I rested against a tree and dozed off for a while. I only woke up when I felt a leaf from the tree land on my face. I picked up the leaf and twirled it in my fingers. Looking up, I mused out loud, perhaps a little absent-mindedly. Did the leaf truly come from that tree? Tell you what though, it was a good nap. A moment of pause for our daughter, Lyle. She has finally come of age. I am proud to see my daughter no longer as a child, but as an adult. Always the clever child, Lyle proved time and time again over the course of her studies that she had a natural affinity for careful planning and more than a little misdirection. She now knows a lot of ways to get what she wants. Most importantly, she is highly aware of the political implications of those wants. Oh, Lyle, they do grow up fast. You gained a trait, intricate web weaver. Very nice. We can get the betrothal. We will hold off. One. Our betrothal is fulfilled. Lyle has now married Let's just have a look at Lyle here. So, she is temperate, cynical, but just. And she is an intricate web weaver. So that's a really good education. I'm pretty happy with that. Intriguer +6. She is still feeble. And this at times has brought up some, in my mind, my private thoughts, why this trait, this congenital trait, has been inherited by my dear daughter. As far as I know, this trait was never something in my family. I have questions, but I always put them to bed. My former wife was the love of my life. She was loyal. And these just these silly thoughts, those random little nibbles from the devil, clawing and trying to undermine me. But I hope she has been strong for her feeble. She has to battle the penalty of health all the time, but she has grown. And I hope she has a long life and one that she can bring children and help. In a way, one day perhaps bringing our two kingdoms together. Unfortunately, she has become flagellant as well, but she is in fine health. She's got 5 diplomacy, 7 in martial, 11 stewardship, 16 in intrigue. So she's very good in intrigue. 8 learning and 6 prowess. So yes, I am happy that she's got a close family. Yes, she's done really well. I am very happy to see how Lyle will go. She is now leaving us and has left to the court of her once former liege and now ally, King Alfonso, and one day to become Queen of Asturias. It has come to my attention that some local commoners are moving to Braganza, the capital of my vassal, Count Lucidio. Locals, newly settled and not praising me, can surely do no harm in his perception of me. No, that's not worth it. So let's have a look at our military here. I do think we're just looking at these light footmen. Forest, Targa and jungle, they're effective. We don't have much of that. I mean, you can tell it's a lot of hillside terrain going south as well with plains. So plains are going to come in handy with our horsemen that we do have. We've got light horsemen here. They are good in plains in the dry lands. So when it comes to pushing south, a horseman should definitely pay forward. I think what we're going to do is go for another pikeman. Hills, desert, mountains. I think we may go for another bowman. I was tempted to do onagers, so we can have 2 units of onagers, and then I can split my army into 2 units that have onagers in both unit armies. This will help if I need to split the armies. Thinking of the terrain, we do have hills and mountains, but then we do, like I say, we get into some hills, but we do have a lot of plains to the south. In plains, well, our horse will come in handy in the plains, but we've already got a good unit of those. We'll probably increase those to 500. Again, I'm umming and ahhing about the light footmen, but they just don't seem like they would be any effect for us comparison. Our bowmen have some effect in hills, but and our pikemen, mountains and hills. For now, I'm going to go with another unit of onagers. Crazy? Yeah. Likely, very much so. And I'm going to station them in Corimba. The thinking here is I'll increase them when we can. Is, like I just mentioned before, if I split the army, I can split the army with, and hopefully both armies will be able to have a regiment of onagers. That means they can go on their own separate ways, and when they do sieges, it will help with the obviously the speed of the sieges. We will need to increase that again, which is 54, and I probably will do it one more time. slowly invest in increasing the ranks as we can. I did look at the other options, and I do think, considering the options available, I think the onagers would probably just make that sense to me because of what we can do with the siege effect. We will eventually increase the size of our light horsemen and skirmishers, but yeah, let me know down below. Feel free to advise me on these military matters. We are going to lose the Galician band of Santiago in, well, less than a month. However, when comes the time of war again, we will be able to rehire some mercenaries to help us. So yes, just feel free to advise me on your decisions and your thought processes down below. Get involved. My daughter has learned the High German language, Hermesinna. I hear a commotion from my son Hermes' chambers, hastening inside to see the wet nurse is playing with Hermes. My liege, perfect timing. Hermes just took his first step, she shouts excitedly. Holding my boy's hands, she tries to walk him around the room. That is a giant step for a child, a small step for a ruler. Sadly, he shall never rule. What else can he do? Oh, I don't have time for this. Well, we always have time for our children. You know what, Hermes? What else can you do? I expect a fair bit from you, Hermes. You need to prove yourself. Your son, your brother, Zilla Exildo, is well, he is set to be the heir. Oh, Vito, my friend. If you were still with me, I know you would tell me to be strong, that things will get better, and you would be right as you always were. But first I must curse and cry. How could I not, when you were gone from this world? You will never be forgotten, my old friend. Oh, I died of old age. New caravan master. We will look at that when we need to. Oh, my friend. Let's have a look here. I want to have a look at some of the artifacts. We do have a few, and I'm thinking to raise some money, we may sell a few. So what we have at the moment is the boar tusk. Gives me plus 1% in domain taxes. Okay, I may equip that. The Lucky Galicians monthly stewardship lifetime. Domain taxes, okay. I think we will unequip that. I'm going to equip the Galician coin to increase our domain taxes by 2%. I think the worn language we will sell. Destroy this artifact. The Nutcracker, we will destroy the artifact. Small beaker gives me some prestige, and so does the Holy Nail and piety. The decorated figurines gives me a small health boost, but and learning. But we will look at destroying that too, gain some more money, and it just leaves the guide. So the vehicle is giving me an extra knight. The tusk would give me plus 1% in taxes. Plus equals prestige. We will stay with that. We will keep the boar tusk. I may give that to my son. In fact, my son, I will probably gift you that. And the Pilgrim's Guide, yeah, we will leave that for now as well. So we've just raised a little bit of coin there, as you may. And we need to invest this again in our military. We're going to push the onagers up one size there, so that'll give us 2 and 2. Thinking of the south and that we will be going on the plains, I am looking at possibly investing here in increasing our light horsemen. They got some great pursuit. They do take negatives in some mountains and hills, which is coming down to this side here. However, I think long term, looking down to the south as we know there is plenty of plains. So we will increase that as well to the maximum. And our pikemen, they do help us in the mountains and the hills. Our bowmen, they do give us some help. I think we will go for increase the size of our pikemen as well. So it takes us down to 36. But I think I'm happy once they have raised all the levies there that we shall certainly have enough about us. And there we will leave it. Shorter episode, a bit of episode of just building and planning and plotting. We have heeded the council, the inner council and the main council and the outer court. We have got our steward into cultural conversion here in Santiago. We still have... Oh, how lovely! Yes, time to right this wrong. He is increasing his taxes, so that helps as well. His taxes are now 7.7 a month. Lovely. So our steward of Osorio is promoting the culture of Portugal or Portuguese in Santiago. Our bishop is now 2 years away from conversion of Corumbia. And then we'll probably push him back into up here to just convert this Mozaram to Catholicism, or Catholicism I should say. Our Chancellor Roy is doing his work there in domestic affairs still. I think that works quite well. We could integrate titles. I'm thinking maybe the Kingdom of Galicia, possibly. We've got Major Sebastian. It's got 2 months left in Corumbia, and then in Avario, and then we'll just see where we go. I do have plans to probably put him back to training commanders. And our Spymaster, she has done her worth in disrupting some schemes. And for now, I think that is where we will leave them all. War will be forthcoming in the next episode. We will make sure our allies are ready to go, and we will push ahead. So in the next episode, folks, we'll begin the Holy War. No pilgrimage, and we'll pray in the Church of Santiago, as we have done. The war to the south for the remaining lands of Portugal are upon us. These lands will be ours. It's going to be a vicious, long-drawn, possibly war, but it is the next step. The one we must take. Until next time, folks, take care of yourselves and each other. I've been Parkera. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the new subscribers that have come recently, and all the people everyone who has participated in this series, for your likes and views. I do really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Take your comments down below. Hit me up with some more name suggestions. Become part of it if you like as well. We can, become a member of the council maybe, in all other aspects. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. I am Parkera. Kia kaha.